and the Buffalo Bills. Here we go, the final Week 7. Through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the run, this is Hilliard. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
got you now, Barney. Barney.
Allen looks to throw on second down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now a carry here for Hilliard. Room here to run. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Throw left side complete. It's Montgomery. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Allen throwing again. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run. It's Hilliard. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Detroit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. We're a little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game, that they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And that's complete to Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Alshon Jeffrey, 95 yards. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out come the Bills. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Get that quarterback. Detroit! Detroit! Hut!
From the gun, it's Allen. Going for the deep ball. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down is Darnold. And it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot. When you have all those people bearing down on you, Probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. New York set to take the field. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Fresh off the pick six, it's Darnold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 52 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Lucky 56. Gone.
On 2nd down, Darnold. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Bills. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's Hilliard. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, complete to Foster. 23 yards on the play. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Gun! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Allen looking to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. Being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On 1st down, Darnold. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, it's easy to make a case that Alshon Jeffrey loves to run the post pattern, and the guy throwing the ball to him loves him running it. Right in his sight lines, great catch radius. He can stick the ball up there, and he can go out and get it.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. A give to Bell. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Jerry Hughes on the stop. Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this.
Detroit! Back there, not Philly. Here we go. Over.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Over.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Found his target, it's Anderson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
The give is to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Over! Switch! Hot! Hey, one set. Check right 54.
Darnold on 3rd down. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Gone!
On play action, Allen. Dancing to his left. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Buying time to his left. Finds his target, Montgomery. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Gone! Detroit!
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Forced out to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Hot! Hot!
From midfield, here's Allen. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And here's Allen to throw on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And that's complete to Croft. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. Steps away to his left. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, No more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they said the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Jets. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want...
It got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team to...
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Alshon Jeffrey, 38 yards. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now Darquan. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
To the air, Allen looking deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Here's Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Bills getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Darren Lee in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Allen to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. And the grab by Croft. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And again, it's Allen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
One final try here for Allen. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Allen now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Watch it now, Marty.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 29. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 51 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there. We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when
and this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Alshon Jeffrey, 29 yards. And the interception by the Jets D leads to a touchdown. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A spin, and now running right through it. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Allen. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now a play fake here on 1st down. But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Allen now looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Detroit!
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Forced out to his left. Now a desperation. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Over!
And Darnold wants to throw the football. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Allen going to throw. Steps away to his left. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Being chased out left. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Back to throw, Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Wow.